was getting hot in here. I had to open the window. Oh yeah, the window's in. And terribly dirty. But at least I picked the wasp nests off of it anyway. Just got her screwed in place here, threw it open to make sure it would slide easy. Opens right up. This makes me so happy to use this window. Installing it, of course, is super easy. If you guys haven't installed windows, there's really nothing to it. You throw it in the rough end, shim it if you need to make sure it's square and level, and screw it in place. Which actually, this one's great because, you know, like everything else I've been doing on the pump house here, keeping it square and level. So when I threw it in, I didn't have to shim it. It was already square and level. I had to lift it up just a little bit just to kind of center it in the space because the rough end is bigger than, you know, the install. But yeah, super easy, and I'm super happy with it. So with the window in, now I can trim out this wall and go ahead and start bringing siding up on it. And then with this wall and the east wall done, I can trim out the back wall and bring siding all the way up on it and just be blowing and going here. I guess I can go ahead and see about putting the door in too, but I'm hesitating. Bingo. Hey, look. Now I can put a door in. And I think I'll do that right now. Come on, sweet baby Jesus. Drop in over there. Oh yeah! Woo! We get this little baby squared up, plumbed up, shimmed up. Definitely shimmed up. I've got like an inch gap over here. Definitely shimmed up, screwed up tight, and we will be in business. Nice. Got to figure out what I'm going to shim it with. I don't have a pack of proper shims. I don't want to go to town to get them. Hopefully a bunch of this little 1/2-inch stripping I've got from doing the siding and the racking support. Just throw some of those in, kind of square it up. I think that'll be enough. Let me see what I can do with it. All right. Screws now. Let's see if we can get this door in. You're fine, honey. You're fine. You plop down in the mud that you decided to play in. No, ma'am. Stand up. Brush yourself off. Be a big girl. That's it. So first things first, you got to pull out this little doorknob stopper keeper thing that they put in there to keep the door from swinging when it's being moved around in its storage. Otherwise, you'll get your door framed in, and then you can't get it out. I learned that the hard way. So that's out. Which kind of sucks that you have to pull that before installing the door, because then of course the door wants to swing while you're messing with it. But I'm just going to drag this thing around and wrestle with it as best I can to try to get it in position here. I guess the good news is now you can open the door to get back in the shop. It's really awkward. But open the door up, you know, most of the way, and it'll kind of stand there on its own. Now, like everything else I'll do, I put in the disclaimer that I am not a professional door installer guy. I'm just going to try to figure this out as I go. What I'm planning on doing is just get a couple screws in the bottom, get the bottom lined up, get a couple screws in it, and then plumb and level from there. Try to see if I've got some blocking I can put under the door to help hold it up. I've got this blocking that I cut, but I wanted to use it for shims. I guess it'll work long enough to level the door up. I don't think it's quite 1.5 inches to the bottom of that door to use a 2x4 for blocking. All right, got a 1.5 inches. So the way it stands right now, I want to see if it's plumb on the left or if I've got to move it to the left. Okay, the top wants to go to the left a little bit, but it's hitting. So that means I got to bring the bottom over to the right when I can. And I've got some space here to do it. That's it. That's all I got. And that did it. I use my level here as a flat tool face to go across and make sure my front is flush. Push it back just a little bit there at the bottom. All right. I'll put my first screw down here in the bottom as an anchor point. Like I said, it's hitting down here, so I don't think I can pull it any tighter. Are you kidding me? There's a notch. There's a notch there where I notched out around the bolt head. Now that's screw is going to be like 1,000 degrees, so I'm going to let it sit for a second. I'm going to get a new one. I managed to drill right into that notch, and I think I may have actually hit the top of the stud, I'm not sure, but I couldn't get any more depth on that screw. Alright, that's pulled up tight. Now my blocking, I got on the door set too high. Pull out a 1/2 inch, and that dropped it more than enough. So now I want to try to check my plumb. And I guess it makes sense to work on the same side that I just secured. That's plumb there, front to back. I guess I could do it the same way with this, except this piece over here is bowed a little bit. That's plumb on the door. And that wants to go back to the left a little bit. So I've got to put a shim in here to hold this when I put the next screw in. These shims are just pieces of 1/2 inch, same as the lap board here that I just cut off, and so I'll just wedge it down until it's in the right spot to secure and keep everything plumb and square, and then I'll screw it right at that spot. They're big. See, they're like extra large. They're not really shims, they're just spacers. But I actually like that because I can screw through it and not split it out and bust it. Still square there. Plumb there. So where I just put that shim's a perfect spot. Oh, come on. Check again to make sure I didn't pull it. Good. Good. Okay, so I think one more shim up top. Fit one right there. If I drive it too far up top, then it's gonna the wall comes back in this direction, so if I hammer it up tighter, it's going to want to push the top of the door this way, which right now is perfect. So we don't want to push the top of the door over any. Now I've not put any screws in this side yet. Let's see if we can do that. Square. Okay, this side, the top needs to come out. And I can still do that without disturbing the other side. And I need a shim over here, because if I try to put in screws, it's going to pull this whole brace out. I think I can get a 1/2 inch shim right about here, which I can pull the top out and shim it at the same time. There the shim's in. Basically pushing it in my hand. Yeah, I had to thump it a little bit, but for the most part just pushing it in my hand. And I'm gonna try to shim up the back of the door a little bit. To hold that plumb. This is where a proper shim would actually be nice, because I need to pick it up like a 1/4 inch maybe. I just don't have that. I'll find a little chip somewhere to use. Oh, my bottom's trying to walk out on me a little bit. I guess actually maybe what I need to do is square and secure the bottom and then yank the top out. So let's do that. Bottom's trying to walk out on me just a little bit. That's still flush across there. Sure, I'm breaking all sorts of master carpentry rules right now. Okay, so now I just need to bring up that back end a little bit. Hey, looky here, a shim. Maybe. It might not be thick enough. Feels like it might do it. There's a nice little wedge. That did it. Just using little chips and bits, whatever I can find here. Oh, too far actually. And that actually makes sense, because again, this piece of trim right here has already cupped. I need to nail this edge down. It cupped on me. So it's sticking out. It's a little proud where it should be. That's in the bubbles. But I have to bring it down just a little more. That's pretty good right there. It says the top could go in just a hair more, but just looking at my framing, that doesn't make sense. In fact, it wants to come back out a little bit. Just a hair. And again, at this point, I'm checking, trying to make sure my trim.
Hey,
Right.
Lacey, get in here. Where's Troy?
I don't know.
Troy! I'm putting chicken patties in the oven for lunch. I've got one for you and Dad, too.
Thank you.
And the girls, obviously.
All right. I'm gonna say this is good enough for now. I want to secure it, and I want to make sure the door still swings. Oh yeah. Let's see if the film's still going. 15 minutes, good God. Yeah. I guess that works. bad I don't have a doorknob to put on it. Swings nice. Doesn't catch. Alright. We'll run some more screws all the way around, put some blocking in behind it just to help keep things tight. That's it. Door's in. Yay.